What is going on, guys? Sorry for the late delay. I know it took a little minute for me to go live, but welcome to 407 Rangers. It is your host Raymond Tapia. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. Turn on your notifications when I'm about to upload a stream of highlights, things like that. Well, guys, unfortunately, the New Jersey Devils just owns the shit out of the New York Rangers. I mean, this season they have just been playing with their food onto the Rangers. Like there's no other way around it. Like I don't know what more you guys want me to say. This team simply just can't beat the New Jersey Devils this season. And I think this is going to be the first season ever where the New York Rangers will actually get swept by the Islanders and the Devils in the same season. Guys, I have watched Dark Day Rangers, and they have never gotten swept by both teams. There's been seasons with those guys where they either got swept by the Isles, but they somehow beat the series with the Devils, or they'll beat the series with the Devils, or they'll get swept by the Isles. Like, it would never have been two of the same teams in the same division sweeping the Rangers in one sitting. Like, this is where we are. But I just want to show you guys how bad it has gotten since JT Miller's return because you know what I'm going to show you guys particularly? I'm going to show you guys how this team was playing 4 games prior, well 5 games now before JT Miller's return. You're going to see how many shots on goal was put on the net compared to what the hell we have been watching since this fucking captain of ours has been back. Just get ready, cause you're gonna really see why I am just done with the JT Miller experiment. Like I'm over it, man. Like this guy is a straight up cancer to the locker room, man. He brings the whole team down with him, and I'm so over it. Like I don't even care if he won a gold medal. It seemed like to me he got his gold medal and that was it. Like he went back to misery when it came to New York Rangers hockey, man. And like I said, guys, I am just over it because look, I'm gonna show you. So the first game with JT Miller's return, they were outshot by the Wild, 30 shots. That's the first one. But we're gonna go to the games prior to how the Rangers were playing before. Now, the same thing. They were just outshot by the Jets by 11 in that Winnipeg game on the road. And then the Flames and the Rangers, without JT Miller, they outshot the Flames. 8 shots at home on that 4-0 shutout victory. And then the same thing with the Flyers. Like when they won that game, 4 goals. The Flyers only outshot them by 7. Now let's take a look at what they've been doing since freaking Miller's return. Kings outshot them by 6 shots that one game in the loss. And then, as y'all know, last night the Devils outshot the Rangers by 28 shots. Yes, 28 of them. And like I said, the Rangers they did keep up with the Devils. I would say in the first and second period, but after the third period, the Devils just owned them the whole period. Like they were killing them on the breakaways. They were creating easy opportunities and spacing for their shots to go on that, and the Rangers just had no answer. They had no defensive solution to cover out the breakaways, and they just kept allowing the Devils to just look like they're the way better team. Plain and simple. And as y'all see, since JT Miller's return, Rangers were already outshot, I believe, by like 100 shots on goal, and they've only shot like probably like 50 or 40 of them since JT Miller's return. Well, I'd say close to 60 now, but this is what we get when the captain returns. They play the Blue Jackets tonight, so it's a back-to-back game. The one thing I would say, Mike Sullivan should have at least like put if you know Jonathan Quick is not like he lost already the last time to the Devils. You might as well have had Igor Shesterkin behind the net and then put Jonathan Quick behind the net for tonight's game against the Blue Jackets on the road. I would have preferred that over having Jonathan Quick facing the Devils again when you knew that the last time they played when he was behind the net, they did not beat the Devils. Like, how the hell did you not learn from that last game? It was like there were. I get it. Igor Shesterkin played like 5 games in a row and things like that, and I'm sure they were like, well, we don't want to kill him and whatever the fuck. But this is the Devils, man. Like, you gotta at least play with some pride. Like, you want to put Igor Shesterkin behind the net so you can at least have a chance at beating the Devils, because as you can see, when you put Jonathan Quick behind the net, it's no disrespect to Quick. I love his game. I love what he does for the Rangers, but they just weren't helping him last night. Plain and simple. Like, the Rangers got out forechecked, and they weren't even as physical as the Devils. Like, the Devils definitely were hit checking them way more than the Rangers. So we'll go ahead and talk about the team stats, because the Rangers lost 3-6. And like I said, guys, if you ask me, Chris Drury needs to look himself in the mirror and say, I fucked up trying to get a guy like JT Miller. Because look where it's going. This JT Miller captaincy experiment has gone absolutely fucking nowhere. I still till my I still for my life cannot understand how you outdid a guy like Jacob Trouba, and he's been with the Rangers way more fucking longer, and in one season you somehow outcrapped Jacob Trouba. That's that is not good. If you are outdoing a guy like Jacob Trouba, you are not going to help this franchise at all. We already look what happened when we had Jacob Trouba here, and they went to the playoffs and all. They went to the ECF 2 times having Jacob Trouba with that core, and yet he was still a cancerous problem. Like, this is a part two. The only difference is JT Miller is not going to get these guys to the playoffs. Not with the way he plays. Hell no. The way he plays, he slows the whole team down. Because the Peralta, Zibanejad, and Lafreniere line, they were still doing good. This is why I was not excited one single bit when I heard that JT Miller was going to be back on the lineup. So the Devils had 14 hits, the Rangers had 25. And the face-off wins, the Devils only had one more face-off win with 32, and the Rangers had 31. The Devils had 2 power play goals. Rangers had 2, but of course didn't do nothing with it because it turned absolutely garbage ever since they switched the whole lineup. This is the shit I'm talking about with Mike Sullivan, man. Like, this guy, he keeps having these rotation salads all because JT Miller's back. And now, like I said, he can't be mad if he starts losing all these games because you chose to not let this shit continue. You didn't want the younger guys keep on shining, so hey, you got this is what you got to deal with. Too bad, so sad. And the Rangers drew 4 penalties, of course, and that was my biggest pet peeve last night. Like, why in God's green earth do you have to draw penalties right after you score a goal? What is the purpose of that? Like, what do you gain from just drawing a pet? They do this every game. It's like impossible for the Rangers to not draw a penalty right after they score a goal. It's like it has to be like traditional for them at this point. It's insane. But for the penalty minutes, the Devils had 4, the Rangers had 8. Blocked shots, the Devils had 12, the Rangers had 8. Takeaways, the Devils had 6, the Rangers had 5. And for your giveaways, the Devils had 19 and the Rangers had 24. So as y'all know, I'll go ahead and talk about the game right quick. And then, we'll just go ahead and talk about what Chris Drury is going to need to do for a guy like JT Miller because, like I said, guys, I am just done with the JT Miller experiment. I'm over it. And if you can move Chris Kreider, Panarin, and Trouba, there's no reason for you to move on from not be able to move on from JT Miller. At this point, I don't even give a damn if he lands you 7th round picks. I'd rather take those picks than deal with this JT Miller bullshit. I am so dead ass. Like if JT Miller is only gonna give you fifth and seventh late round picks, like I will take that over having JT Miller a part of this team. Like he is just not he's not good for the team. He's just not. And as you can see, it like you guys see it firsthand. But in the first period, the Rangers did start off with the goal. Vladislav Gavrikov starts it off, and Alexei Lafreniere with the assist. So like nobody can sit here and say it was Lafreniere's fault last night because this guy is still a point per game player. So it's definitely not an Alexei Lafreniere problem. As I told y'all, this is a JT Miller problem. Rangers draw the penalty, and then of course the Devils instantly hits the power play goal. Nico Hischier with the goal. Connor Brown and Jesper Bratt had the assist. Devils were tied, but then right after that, within the late first period, I'd say like 14 seconds left of the game in the first period, Arseny Gritzia hits another goal. It was unassisted, and from there, like I was a bit worried, but I was like, let's see what the hell this team does. So in the second period, Mika Zibanejad did answer with the goal, and like I said, Gabe Perreault had the assist. So this is why I said the Gabe Perreault, Mika Zibanejad, and Alexa Lafreniere line is definitely not the problem because as you can see, they are still producing their points. Yet, ironically, their captain, who's on the second line, is the one that's making that you can't even tell like the other guys are doing good because of how it's just insane to me that the minute this guy gets on the ice, everything slows down for the Rangers. They can't even skate fast or anything. Like they have to play half ice hockey. That's my biggest problem. Like JT Miller slows everybody down. Like if you're hurt still, bro, just shut your season down. Just shut them down. Let everybody call whoever you got to call up from Hartford and go from there because like I told y'all, JT Miller is holding the team back. Like strip his captaincy for all I care cuz it's not working. It's not working. What type of leader comes back from an injury and instead of leading by example, you bring the team lower. You bring them right back down to that miserable, unwatchable hockey that we were just finally felt like we were getting over. But nope, here we are. We're right back at it like a merry-go-round. Around and around we fucking go now. And this is the third game. Third game with JT Miller and it looks nothing like the four-game winning streak this team had. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But in the third period, right after the Connor Brown goal that was scored by the power play once again by the Devils, Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier had the assist on that power play. In the third period, Timo Meier hits another goal for the Devils, and Carter had the assist on that play. The Devils were up 2 goals. Now, the Rangers did answer back because Conor Sheary did score a goal, and Matthew Robertson and JT Miller had the assist. And this is the shit I'm talking about. Like how do you gain a point per game and yet it doesn't help the team? Like, do you guys see what's going on here? JT Miller can give you a goal and an assist, and somehow it does not like impact the team. That's my biggest problem. Like, you're producing points, yes, but you're not winning games with it. You're not winning games. That's the problem we got going on right now since JT Miller's been back. So right after the Conor Sheary goal, once again, Jack Hughes, like I told y'all, man, Jack Hughes, this guy can play with his eyes closed every time he faces the Rangers because it seems like to me he's always having fun when he's playing against his team. And I don't know when the Rangers are going to ever, stop being the most easiest team for Jack Hughes to beat. I don't know. I just don't know when they're gonna ever figure out Jack Hughes because at this point, like Jack Hughes is just gonna keep owning this team if they don't figure him out. And then right after the Jack Hughes goal, Jesper Bratt hits the empty netter, and Brendan Dillon and Jack Hughes had the assist on that play once again. Jack Hughes had like at least 4 points last night. This is why I said he owns the Rangers. Like, and I hate saying that because trust me, I hate the Devils just like any other Rangers fan, but I got to give credit to them. They outplayed the Rangers once again. But hey, I'll let them have that. If that's their Stanley Cup, let them have it because they're still not going to make the playoffs. Like, you Devil fans control us. You have every right. We do suck ass this year. Not going to sit here and say you don't have the right to troll us. However, let's not sit here and act like you guys are going to go to the playoffs because that ain't happening. That ain't happening. You're going to be going to Cancun with us. So let's just relax on that. That's all I'm saying. But guys, I will start uploading the highlights shortly. Tonight I'm gonna actually be like home and watching the game, so I'm gonna be more like on time with the recap. I'll probably go live right after the Blue Jackets game. But yeah, if you ask me, what do the New York Rangers need to do? They just have to figure out what are they gonna do with JT Miller. If Chris Drury wants his job saved and the fans to not even start yelling those fire Drury chants again, because when they were winning 4 games, people were actually saying thank you, Drury. So if he wants people to not feel like he's bringing back an abysmal, you got to figure out what you're gonna do with JT Miller. Because like I said, JT Miller's not the solution. He's not. This guy is gonna keep bringing the team down, and I'm not here for it, man. I am just not here for it. This man, within 3 games, has already made the Rangers an unwatchable hockey product once again, which is like it's unfair because we were just it felt like we were just getting some light, and it's right back to darkness. It's like hello darkness, my old friend, man, and it's unfortunate because I was getting actually excited with what the team was doing, but it just shows you that we don't need JT Miller. We just don't. And this offseason, I truly hope Chris Drury is going to have some serious considerations with trying to move on from him. Either that or you got to strip the captaincy from him because this guy sucks as a captain. He's not a good captain. He's just not. And it's crazy to say that, like, you're somehow a shittier captain than Jacob fucking Trouba. I still, for my life, will never understand how they encountered a player that could actually scoop lower than Trouba. That shit is insane to me, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the only way the Rangers will start heading towards a better direction. You got to get rid of the tumor that's still in the locker room, and it just happens to be the captain that they chose. That's the only way we're going to get back to watching Noah Laba goals, Ty Cartry, and Cam Lash, and guys like that. Because other than that, JT Miller's going to keep holding everybody back from seeing the younger prospects play the game they're supposed to play, man. This is why I'm so ready for, like I said, there's no reason for Chris Drury to not move on from Miller. Moved on from Panarin. You moved on from Kreider. You moved on from Capo Caco. You moved on from a lot of other players from a couple of seasons ago. But for some odd reason, you are like you're really hoping that this guy's going to be the one that turns it around. Look where it's been. Ever since he did his whole no BS bullshit, it's been all bullshit. this guy put no BS on his shirt, and the whole season it's been all BS. Remember when they said we're going to be a fast paced, fucking odd man rushing, like fuck you type of team? I've only seen like a couple of bits and pieces of that. We did not see that the whole season. Hell no. We still haven't gotten the fuck you team this whole season. So, JT Miller's just gonna have to stop coming up with these crazy things and just figure out why the hell is it that when you're on the ice, even with you scoring a point, whether it be an assist or a goal, it does not help the team. That's like that's a problem. If you still gaining points yet it's not helping the team win, that's a major problem. That's all I'm saying. So this team, like I said, this team's not making the playoffs. We're gonna miss the playoffs again, and we're gonna keep missing the playoffs if they keep having a guy like JT Miller keep showing up on the ice. Like I just don't know what more it's gonna take for Chris to realize it's time to move on from the Miller experiment. It's not working. It's backfiring. It's time to try something different because, like I said, this is not gonna work. It's not. But we'll see how they play later on tonight against the Blue Jackets because they do play in a couple of hours, and we're gonna see how this turns out. We're gonna see if this Devil loss is gonna wake up JT Miller because I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not everyone else's fault. Nope, it's JT Miller's fault, plain and simple. But we're gonna see how they respond to their back-to-back losses at the Garden tonight when they go to Columbus. So as always, y'all, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for hitting that like and keep hitting that subscribe button. We're almost at 300. We reached 261 subscribers. So you guys already know I will forever be humble, grateful, and thankful that you guys chose this channel and no other Rangers channel. So I will start uploading the highlights from last night's game shortly. And I'll see you guys in a couple of hours and we'll see how they turn out. And as always, y'all, let's go Rangers, fire Drury, and trade JT Miller.